If you're chronically online, such as myself, you probably know that Gen Z has been drinking significantly less than other generations. Here's a statistic to prove that. But today, we're going to talk about why that is and what's been different from other generations. So let's get into it.
Everybody knows that Gen Z doesn't drink as much anymore. And every time this conversation comes up, all the news articles will say, oh, well, Gen Z doesn't drink because they love health and wellness now.
That is true. Gen Zers do realize how many carbs and stuff are in alcoholic beverages. But to be honest, the reason Gen Zers don't drink, one thing, costs too much. It just costs way too much to go out and drink anymore. You want to buy a round of shots for you and 6 of your friends or whatever? It's like $55. Who the hell can afford $55 shots nowadays in this economy? We have too many other things to worry about than going out and drinking with our boys. As much as it sucks, because I love a good drink with my buddies too, shit's just way too expensive. I'm here to listen to him and see what he's got to talk about, but at the end of the day, it comes down to cost. That's the biggest thing. The biggest issue is cost. And it's not going down anytime soon, so Gen Z probably still won't drink. Also, Gen Zers, half of them aren't even 21 yet. That doesn't mean they won't drink, because I was drinking at 16. Don't recommend that. Don't recommend that. Don't recommend that. But it's true. So they have, 8, 9, 10 years left before everybody over or in Gen Z is over the age of 21, which could change the statistic.
They're so excited to wake up on Saturday morning and go to run club or yoga or work out with
No. I don't have much more to add to that. Maybe some people do. You can see me. Not doing run club, buddy. Not doing run club. I don't drink very much either, but run club, I'll go to the gym and lift. Run club.
each other. The social scene has just changed. No one wants to go to the bar anymore. And yes, those
Because bars suck to me. I don't like bars. Never have. Been to a few of them. Not my thing. I'm a natural introvert. Bars aren't my thing. If I start drinking, I get more outgoing. But in general, bars, I'd rather get some of my buddies and just go to one of our houses and just chill more so than go out to a bar, But I'm 24, so I'm starting to get to the older side of that. I say older, but I feel like 24 is kind of right in the middle of when you'd want to go to a bar. But bar scene, not for me. I've also been married for about a year now, so maybe that plays into it. I'm not single and trying to mingle, but it's bars not for me personally.
things are generally true, but it really doesn't explain the real reason as to why people and Gen Z just don't want to drink as much anymore. It's because anxiety sucks balls now.
That too, but it's really cost. Anyway, yeah, anxiety does suck because we have so many other things to do, and that next day, I had 2 beers the other day. I had 2 natural lights, which is just, that's, anybody who drinks knows that's nothing. That is not a thing. I woke up the next morning with a headache. Why the hell do I have a headache over 2 beers? I was telling my wife this. I'm like, what the world? Why do I have a headache over 2 beers? When I was in high school, again, don't recommend. I could drink, a 12-pack or whatever, have some, some fireball shooters, whatever, be totally cool. But nowadays, I can't do that shit, man. The anxiety is also brutal because I remember all the stuff that I have to get done and all this stuff, and it all comes together into this one big, shit ball of stuff that I have to get done and do, and it just rushes to my mind. It's awful. Don't recommend.
If you go out and get obliterated, the things that you do don't just stay with the people that you're with. There's videos taken of you. You might go on your own phone when you're drunk and start texting or Snapchatting people stupid.
Okay, so I misinterpreted what he was saying a bit there. He means anxiety as in, what you do that night will live on with the people that you're with and could get recorded. I could see that, too. My friends were never like that. We could record each other, but it would stay in our friend group compared to going out to other sources and other people seeing it, so I could definitely, I can see that side of it too. I misinterpreted maybe what he was trying to say, but I'll let him keep going for a little bit here.
Stuff. The anxiety related to going out and getting drunk is just so much higher for Gen Z than it's been for other generations. Go ask anybody in their 20s who doesn't drink anymore why they stopped drinking. 90% of the time they're just going to say, I feel so much better without the anxiety.
That's true. I do feel very good without having the anxiety of going out and acting like a fucking fool and getting blasted for it the next day. But it's just cost, man. I'm going to keep saying this whole video. It just costs too much. If the prices were half of what they are now, so many more Gen Zers who just turned 21 would go out and have drinks and stuff. But with the price of everything being so high, we have to focus on our necessities compared to shit we just want to do in our free time or for fun. It doesn't just contribute to drinking, like the aspect of going out and drinking. It's a lot more other things as well that we have to cut back on, like our hobbies and stuff. But drinking plays into that because it's not something that we have to go do. And even if we do want to drink with some of our friends, it's so much cheaper to go buy a 24-pack of beers at a liquor store or wherever you buy your alcohol at and take it home compared to going out and getting $8 beers instead of, paying $20 for a 24 pack, where you can share and split between each other. It's just so much more cost efficient, and especially if you don't like being at bars like myself, it just sounds so much better.
So when I hear all these boomers and millennials say things like, "Oh, I'm so thankful I grew up in an age where we could just go out and have a good time and get drunk and be young."
I mean, millennials, they also had phones and stuff too. The boomers and stuff, I understand them saying that, but millennials had phones, so they could have got recorded and stuff as well. It wasn't as prevalent then, I will say that much for sure. But they could get like their picture taken and stuff like that and get exposed that way. But I think I think it's fair.
Not worry about it. And now all these young kids are obsessed with optimization and going to run clubs like losers. It's like,
Going to run clubs like losers, that's not a loser thing to do. That's good. I wish I was into a run club. I wish I could just run consistently. But I work 65 hours a week, so I cannot do that. And on top of trying to build a YouTube channel, that takes up all my time, along with having friendships and wanting to play golf and spending time with my wife. You can see where we have no time to do stuff like that. That's not just me, that's a whole lot of Gen Z, because we have to stay on top of everything, and it's almost impossible.
that's easy for you to say because you didn't grow up with a developing brain with an iPhone attached to your body.
I didn't either. I mean, a little bit maybe, but I didn't get my first iPhone until, I don't know, 10-ish. I think I was 10, 11. So my whole childhood, I had no phones for a while, and I think I ended up getting like a flip phone or like a BlackBerry or something. I got a Motorola. I had a Motorola flip phone where it flipped up like this and had like a little keypad. But before then, we didn't have phones, so I don't know. I think he started off that video strong, but his point there towards the end was a little iffy. Like losers being at Run Club. Maybe he was just saying that's what other people say, but yeah, I think it's just cost. I mean, we'll watch the next video because she says some crazy shit in this video. So let's just watch it and see what she's got to say. Oh, brother, this should be a fun one here. Sober Gen Z is not a good thing. Before she even says anything, it absolutely is a good thing. She's going to play into other societal like contributors of why this isn't a good thing, like the cost and stuff like I was saying before, and probably smoking and stuff, which is also bad. But inherently, less drinks is a good thing because we've seen what it affects, how it affects our families and stuff. I assume that's probably why. Yeah, this should be an interesting one. Let's just watch it and see what she got to say.
I don't think this new data on Gen Z drinking is necessarily something to celebrate. By now, I'm sure we've seen the data. Gen Z is drinking.
And also, we can't win. It doesn't matter if we drink more, they would say we're degenerates. If we drink less, they say we're losers and other things. You know, we're losers or we smoke too much, whatever they want to say. Gen Z can't win. It doesn't matter what we do at the end of the day. We can't win no matter what with the people who are older than us.
Way less than other generations. Now,
This
I'm
is
sure
the stat
some
I
of
put
this
in
is
the
just
beginning
an
of the
age and budget thing. Gen Z right now is between ages 13 and 29, so there's a pretty obvious reason that a lot of high schoolers don't have the same alcohol intake or beer budget that their parents do. But I do think that we're seeing a lot more of this sober, curious culture creep in, even just anecdotally, and while I'm seeing a lot of people celebrate it, I don't.
That stat is pretty crazy. In 2023, fewer than half of 18 to 24-year-olds said they consumed alcohol in the past month, an 8-point drop from a decade ago, which is great. I love seeing stuff like this. Alcohol personally has affected my family in many, many ways. So to see other people stray away from drinking, especially like drinking and driving, which is a big contributing to young deaths, this is a great thing. I love to see this, and I wish more people would do this.
I don't necessarily think that's the right approach, because there's two main drivers of this, and neither one of them is positive. Firstly, Gen Z is really antisocial.
Okay, I didn't think about that, yeah. I can see that, just being antisocial, but I think Gen Zers are okay with that. I'm okay with sitting in my house and doing whatever with me or my wife or me and a couple buddies compared to going out to drinking at a bar with, 100 other people. I think that's totally okay. I don't see an issue with that, really.
The 15 to 24-year-old age range has the largest decline in socialization, which is probably in large part because the lockdowns killed their social skill formation.
Maybe. It's like a cop-out answer, though. Yeah, COVID affected it, but I think Gen Zers just don't like being around people they don't fuck with, If they don't like you, they don't want to hang out with you. At least that's how I feel personally. And being around a bunch of strangers who I don't know, who are probably going to act like a fool when they start drinking and getting drunk, not something that I want to be around personally, and I think a lot of Gen Zers can probably relate to that.
Pretty critical years. And probably also because they're more likely to doom scroll than carry a conversation with someone, which, is going to negatively impact your ability to carry that sort of conversation in the future.
I mean, doom scrolling, doom scroll, I get it, but it's like, that's not the main thing. That's not the reason why Gen Z doesn't drink, because we doom scroll. That's just to get our minds off of shit. I mean, maybe it plays into it a little bit, but would you rather have us doom scroll and be on TikTok for 3 hours, or would you rather have us down a 12-pack and go punch our wives and kids? It's like, you got to pick one. I mean, I'm getting a little overwhelmed by what she's saying right here. She's already got me a little worked up, so I'm just gonna keep watching and see what she got to say. I'm sure she means well, but the way she's coming across, it's not clicking with me right now.
Sure. But I do think that the phones throw a damper on things in other ways as well. Every time you
They
see a
do.
video from the 90s, whether it's prom or just like hanging out at high school, the caption on it is always something like, why did they always seem so happy? Because it's hard to ignore that people really do seem just so happy and carefree in a way that you don't see anymore. And I don't
I also think that they probably were just happier for the camera because it was so rare then, where they wanted to put on a persona and act like they were happy when they're being recorded, compared to now when we get recorded. It's so natural in our day-to-day lives. We just don't care, or we act the same way that we would do normally. We don't put on a persona. We have a camera in our face, act like we're happy. We just act the same way we usually would. And in 1995, cameras were pretty rare, I would assume, even though I wasn't born yet. But I can assume they're probably they're probably more rare then than they are now.
think it's just because people today are on their phones necessarily, although that plays into it. I think it's because everyone today has this
I think that is the reason why, by the way, but I'll let her talk, see what she got to say.
built-in fear of being recorded doing something that they'll be embarrassed by, which they didn't have as much before.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you could get exposed back then, but nowadays, if something like that happens, you're probably going to get exposed for whatever you got to do or whatever you did. So, yeah, I agree with her, I guess.
Or if you were recorded doing something stupid, you knew that it wasn't going to go viral online. It was
That is true. That is true. It wouldn't go viral then because there was nothing to go viral on. Today, if you get some video exposed of you doing something crazy, it gets posted on Twitter and you get 1 million impressions. So, yeah, okay. I can see her. I can see that. I understand that.
just going to be on somebody's camcorder or whatever they had. Which is just to say that I don't think that the rise of sobriety in Gen Z has very much at all to do with disliking alcohol. I think it's more
No, I think alcohol tastes like shit, to be honest. I think it doesn't taste very good. I like beer. It's the most cliche thing in the world. You've probably heard it a million times. Beer is an acquired taste. And I've had beer a good amount, so I actually like beer now. But if you are just starting out to drink, you are not going to like beer. Beer tastes like you pissed in a cup, put it in the refrigerator, and then drank it. It is not very good off the start. You have to get used to it. So her saying that it's not because it tastes bad or they don't like it feels a little disingenuous, to be honest. No, beer does not taste good. Even mixed drinks, they taste fine, but they always have that back kick of the liquor taste at the end of the drink that you won't taste off the start, which some people are turned off by. So I think she's a little disingenuous and kind of blowing by that point. Beer does not taste good. It just doesn't.
a fear of the lack of self-control that comes with it and the social consequences that can result. It's just an extension of our need to protect ourselves from socialization rather than getting lost in it. Do I think that we can change this tomorrow? No, of course not. But I do think we can do subtle things, like stop recording people without their permission, call out people who do, and proactively relax.
Yeah, I think we should stop recording others when we start drinking for sure. But I know a lot of my friends, like I said before, we would record each other but keep it in our friend circle. I think if people are recording you and posting all over the place, you need to stop hanging out with them. And if some stranger does that, I don't know what you can do. Try and sue them. Try and call them out too. I don't know. It might make it a bigger thing, but yeah, I think recording people in general is just not a good thing, especially if you don't have their permission. So I agree with her there. I think there's only a couple seconds left, but we'll figure out what she got to say.
And socialize with friends, even if you might do or say something a little embarrassing.
She didn't really mention the cost very much in that one, which is kind of what I started out with, but I think overall it was a fine video. She had me a little worked up there in the middle, but I can kind of get what she was saying there. Because she was saying she's like, we're like protecting ourselves from socialization compared to actually going out and hanging out at bars. I don't know how I feel about that, but you know, if you guys can relate to what she was saying or relate more to what I was saying, let me know in the comments, because I don't have too much more to say about this video. If you like videos like these talking about big Gen Z culture issues, like and subscribe down below. If I get 1,000 subs, I want to donate $100 to a charity of your choosing, so that'd be great. Let me know what you thought about the video, and that's all I got for you today. Peace out.